Neptunian people, what I say is we like to live life in Technicolor. We always want
Wow.
it to be like a movie by
Yeah.
any means necessary.
By any means necessary. It's real.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So the quote that I have from actually a recent podcast of yours, and I think it's a great starting point. The lesson is to figure out how to be here and how to take care of yourself here, to stay associated, to stay checked in. And this basically is referring to being embodied. So, can you please elaborate on this, because I think
Yeah.
that it captures the essence of Neptune, the pitfalls, and just the difficulties. Personally, that I have a lot of difficulty with this planet,
Mhm.
and I know a lot of us do, because I'm just trying to figure out like what are the healthy ways of doing Neptune. Can you do Neptune without being completely submerged, without losing
Mhm.
yourself, without drowning in it? Like, is
Yeah.
that Neptune?
Yeah. So this is where my relationship to Neptune and kind of more by extension the 12th house and Pisces stuff
Mm-hmm.
um is where my humanistic astrology really starts to show itself, right?
Mm,
And so I want to say that because using astrology as a humanistic astrologer means bending the astrology to the human experience,
mm,
lending it to the human need. And so Neptune always threw me off, right? When I was first studying astrology, because I was like, all these spiritual words. And I would consult with people, and they would not be spiritual people. They would just be people. And
mm-hmm,
they would be like, I don't really resonate with, like, I'm not praying all the time. I'm not a nun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like fucking and playing and doing drugs and like wanting to like
mm-hmm.
live in the world. So
Yeah.
all these key words I was using didn't resonate. And this is where I came to understand Neptune, functionally speaking, teaches whenever we see a strong Neptune in the birth chart, we know that person has issues with boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And so the issue of Neptune is always the issue of boundaries. And so
Mm,
if you are somebody who has access to limitlessness, to boundlessness, to the
mm-hmm.
capacity to experience empathy for all human suffering, how do you not collapse under the weight? How do you not lose yourself in the journey of exploration?
Mm,
The answer is actually boundaries. And so there was the first queer astrology conference happened a number of years ago. And
mhm.
it was at this time I was giving a talk with another astrologer, and it was at this time that I realized not everybody was using astrology in this particular way that I do, because my gay ass was focused on safer sex. I was like,
Well,
who
you do.
is
You always talk about that same
I'm
sex and the Neptune.
always talking about it. And in my
Mhm,
private practice, I talk about it way more than I do on the podcast.
mhm,
Trust. So
mm.
the thing about Neptune is if I see Neptune in the fifth house, if I see Neptune in hard aspect, or sometimes in any aspect to Venus or Mars
Mhm,
or the moon, I
mm,
know that person has issues with safer sex. And what are issues?
mm.
Neptune's like, I don't need a boundary between me and you.
Right,
It's meant to be. Therefore, I don't have to take material precautions because we're having a moment. And that
right,
moment exists outside of consequence. That
right.
moment is simply about us.
And the oneness. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And so the lesson is to choose yourself. It's to be
Ooh.
able to, like, in the context of this, say, I can have endless moments with this person, and they're not more important than the moments I have in my body and with myself. And so what I do is I have safer sex, whatever that means in the given situation, um, because I want that person to know that I take care of myself and I want them to take care of me. So I ask
Mm,
them to use a condom or whatever.
mhm,
Um, it's also a way of preserving and investing in your own wellness. Now, that's one example, right?
right.
But having a Neptunian nature means that you don't want to have to say it. You don't want to have to say, I need X. You want them
Right.
to magically know it.
It's so crass and awkward.
Yeah. To like invoke your preferences means you are robbing that person of their opportunity to be your magical prince or princess or whatever the fuck it is, right? It
Mm,
means
nail
right.
on head.
Yeah, yeah. It means that you are
You may burst the fantasy, your own fantasy's bubble.
There it is. That's
Damn!
it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And
Oh,
so
shit.
it's about recognizing when you have a really Neptunian nature, there are certain things that I will leave to chance and romance and the universe. And there are other things that I do to and for myself as a commitment to the love relationship I'm in with me.
Ooh,
The
beautiful.
problem with Neptune is it has us being devotional to others, outsized to ourselves, and that's the boundary problem.